Hi and welcome to the Watchman Update, where we bring perspective to the news from a biblical viewpoint, offering the biblical standard on current events, focusing on prophecy, moral and social issues. And in this episode, we explore prophecy and the press, Israel-Gaza peace plan.
Phase 2 of Trump's Gaza peace plan has now commenced. Prophecy in the press regarding Israel and Gaza. Phase 2 of Trump's Gaza peace plan has now commenced, according to a White House press release, with the establishment of an official international organization known as the Board of Peace. It will be chaired by President Trump, with a charter that seeks to promote stability, restore dependable and lawful governance, and secure enduring peace in areas affected or threatened by conflict. The body is set to supervise a transitional Palestinian technocratic government in the Gaza Strip, called the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, that is headed by Eli Sha'af, a former Palestinian Authority official who was born in the Gaza Strip. The Board of Peace will also work toward disarming Hamas and deploying the International Stabilization Force, a peacekeeping mission made up of international armed personnel, and charged with the training of a new Palestinian police force. The White House has picked up Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, as well as former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, as members of the initiative's founding executive board. As of the 22nd of January 2026, some 35 countries have signed up to join the board. According to the Russian state-owned news agency, Russian President Vladimir Putin said on the 21st of January, during a meeting with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in the Kremlin, that he will accept President Donald Trump's invitation to join the Board of Peace and meet the $1 billion requirement. Putin made clear that he was joining the Board of Peace to secure the Palestinian interests, and that he will pay the $1 billion first and foremost to support the Palestinian people and to direct those funds to the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip and in general to resolve Palestinian problems.